All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Crew Show with a little San Francisco Giants look ahead to 2024 video. Of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. 2 locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in both spots from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue you're going to find in all of Northern California. Go get the brisket chili. Go say hi to Damon and Mary and tell them that Larry Krueger sent you. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Giants. They have fired manager Gabe Kapler, and that regime is, or at least that era of the Kapler era, is officially over. Now they're looking for a new manager. Will it be Bob Melvin? Will it be Ron Wotus? Who is going to be the next manager of the Giants? Where do the Giants go from here? Let's talk a little bit about it, and as far as Farhan Zaidi, I don't know if he's coming back or not. What is my plan? You say, well, everybody's got to have an idea. What's yours? All right, I'm going to give you my idea. Here's my plan for 2024 for the Giants. The Giants have multiple problems. One is they don't hit at all. They're boring as hell. They don't hit at all. Their defense is not good. They don't have a good starting rotation. And they just have a number of issues. And they're not really, they've let down everybody. I mean, they don't have a public face that's credible, so they need a new public face. They don't have a quality executive that can get free agent deals done, so they need a quality executive. They don't have a manager that can lead them into 2024, so they need a manager as well. So they need a lot, and of course they need a few players to go with the changes they make off the field. Let's go through what I think would be my plan if I ran the Giants for 2024. First of all, there's a lot of talk that Buster Posey is going to be in the mix, and I think that's a smart thing. Hire Buster Posey. He already owns part of the franchise. Hire him as the team president. Make him the team president. He would immediately, on day one, give this franchise a new, credible public face. That would make the fans happy. That would sell tickets. That may also help you land a Shohei Ohtani if you want to go that direction in free agency. The Giants need a new public face. And Buster Posey could be that guy. And as the team president, I think, similar to the way that Derek Jeter was hired as a team president, I think Buster could do a really nice job representing the Giants in a more official capacity. So I'm making him the team president for 2024 and going forward. Why not? He's synonymous with winning. You won 3 titles with him. He's a great baseball mind. He's a great guy. The fans love him. The team needs a new public face. If he's associated with the thing on day one, you have more credibility and more people that are excited to buy tickets. And that's if you don't change anything on the field. Just his presence alone will change the Giants' face from laughingstock to credible. Okay, so that's one. Hire Buster Posey as team president. But Buster's not a general manager, and he's never done it before. And general manager in the big leagues is not a job that you can fake or learn on the job. You can't. You got to have a real general manager. And I'm hiring one, and his name's Ned Coletti. And I've heard people go, oh, Ned's old, and Ned can't do it. Yeah, you know what? Ned has plenty of fire, and he could do it. And he's not that old. He would give them a credible, experienced, trusted executive who knows the agents. If you want to sign free agents, you got to be able to work with the agents. Ned can work with the agents. He's a proven commodity among agents. And he also knows talent. He knows the players. He could sign free agents to reasonable contracts. He also has a deep knowledge of the Giants' chief rival, the Dodgers. If the Giants are ever going to get on the Dodgers level, they have to understand what they're competing against. And Ned knows the Dodgers. He was their general manager. He's been in that market. for a number of years now, observing them from afar. He knows the Giants and what they do. He knows the Dodgers and what they do. If there's one person that would help the Giants close the gap on the Dodgers, it's Ned Colletti. There's no doubt in my mind. By the way, if the Giants and Dodgers were a fight, they would stop it. That's how much the Dodgers are beating on the Giants right now. That has to end. That cannot continue. If the Giants are really going to, be atop the baseball world, they have to run with the Dodgers. The Dodgers are in the division. The Dodgers are their chief rivals. The Dodgers own the NL West. Ned could close that gap because he knows, one, what the Dodgers have done to be successful, what the Giants have done to be successful. He's the perfect guy to work under Buster Posey as the general manager to immediately give the Giants credibility in the agent world. That's number 2. Number 3, hire a good manager. I would go with Ron Wotus. There's a lot of baseball people saying Bob Melvin is going to get this opportunity. We'll see. Bo Mel is smart. He went to Cal. He's a former Giant. It wouldn't be the worst decision to go with Bob Melvin. But I'm going with Ron Wotus. I think Ron Wotus has great work ethic. He has the respect of the guys right now. When I say the guys, I'm talking about everybody in the organization, the owners, the players, the staff, the minor leaguers, the development people. Ron Wotus is a respected voice within the Giants' walls and has been for decades. This is the right time to make him the manager. I understand Sabes went with Bochy and probably considered Wotus, but decided to go with Boch. Heck, if I could bring Boch back, I would do it. But Boch is a 3-year deal to stay in Texas. He's going to stay in Texas, and I'm happy with Ron Wotus. This is, to me, a lifetime achievement award to some degree for Ron Wotus. He deserves this opportunity. He's worked his entire life for this opportunity. He's ready for this opportunity. He belongs in the dugout for the San Francisco Giants. Now, how about Farhan? Farhan's got a year left on his deal. I'm okay with bringing Farhan back as an advisor in 2024, and then a year from now, letting Ned and the Giant ownership group reevaluate Farhan and what he did this last year and how he fulfilled the final year of his contract and make a decision. Farhan is a bright guy. He's a think tank. He's done some really good things. If you want to retain him in a different role within the organization, I think there's plenty of room for massive intellect. And I think Farhan could handle being demoted from general manager and still be content to be part of the equation. The days where Farhan is the czar of all everything that is Giants, I don't think those days are here any longer. But and for a good reason. But doesn't mean he doesn't have a use. Doesn't mean he doesn't have value. I think he's smart. I think he has value. And I would keep him through his final year on the contract. Just reassign him to a different spot in the organization. All right, what about on the field? The Giants have a number of young players. Patrick Bailey behind the plate. Marco Luciano at shortstop. Casey Schmidt at third base. Some young outfielders. Grant McCray, Wade Meckler, Luis Matos, Elliot Ramos, Vaughn Brown. But they've got some young pitching. They've got obviously Logan Webb, and they've got Kyle Harrison, Carson Whisenhunt, Mason Black. They've got some young guys. Camilo Doval in the bullpen is your closer. They have the makings of a really good roster. I think what I would do is I would go, instead of trying to go for Shohei Ohtani, who you're going to have to dramatically overpay. He's not going to be a two-way player next year. You're going to have to pay him as a two-way player, but he's not going to be a two-way player. I think I'd go after Cody Bellinger. He's athletic. He can play center field. I think that's a big, big hole for the Giants as center field. Get Cody Bellinger. Hit him third. Put him in center field. You've just solved two of your huge problems. That's one guy I'd go after. The other guy that I would go after, I would definitely go after Cody Bellinger. I would try to trade for the polar bear, Pete Alonso. There's been a lot of talk this summer that the Mets may move Alonso. Alonso's not a high average hitter, but he's got tremendous power. You know, when the Giants come to town, it's bye-bye, baby. Hasn't been that way in a while. If you had a guy like the polar bear in your lineup, Alonso, I think, would be a fan favorite. Immediately, he'd be the jersey everybody wants to buy. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a clubhouse guy. I think he'd be a great fit. Now, you're going to have to trade a lot to get him, but I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to trade to make one big trade in the offseason to acquire a top-tier bat, and that would be the guy I'd go after. There's also Rhys Hoskins in free agency, but he is coming off an ACL. There's Mike Trout, but his body's starting to fail him. You know, there are some other names out there that they could pursue, but I like the idea of getting Alonso. He's young. You put him at first base. You're around the diamond. You got Bailey behind the plate, Alonso at first, Casey Schmidt and J.D. Davis sharing third base, maybe Luciano, Tyler Fitzgerald, Averson, Arteaga sharing shortstop, Tyro at second. Maybe you get a guy like Tommy Edman to come in and share that spot. Another free agent that I would be interested in is Harrison Bader. I think Bader is in a lot of ways like an Eric Burns. He's a high energy, center fielder. He's had offensive struggles, but I think a guy like Bader could really help the Giants' speed. They need some speed. They need a little bit more speed, and they need a little bit more power. Bader would be the speed. Bellinger would be the speed. Bellinger and the polar bear would be the power. As far as next year's rotation, I think you don't know exactly. I try to ask Sean Manaea to come back and say, Sean, we misused you this year. I try to get him back. You could have a rotation of Logan Webb, Sean Manaea, Kyle Harrison, Carson Whisenhunt. That could be your front four guys right there. You still got Stripling, you got DeSclafani, Tristan Beck, Sean Jelly, Jacob Junis. You got Mason Black, Hayden Birdsong, Landon Roop. They're all there. I mean, if there was one free agent starter I'd look at, maybe a Frankie Montas, who's a big power arm, and maybe he could have a bounce-back year. In the bullpen, you got Camilo Doval and Brebbia and Luke Jackson. You got the Rogers brothers, Ryan Walker, Keaton Wynn, who's pretty nasty out of the pen. I think I would try to sign a couple power arms out of the pen. Maybe an Aroldis Chapman, a Jordan Hicks, something like that. Get a couple real power arms, strikeout guys to lead into Doval. Maybe sign one starting pitcher, trade for a polar bear, sign a Bellinger, sign a Harrison Bader, and go with the rest of the guys. Go with your prospects. Go with your, go internal. There's my plan. I hope you like it. If you don't, I'd love to hear yours. But that would be it. Posey's the president. Ned's the GM. Wotus is the manager. Farhan's back in an advisory role. And I'm making a big play for Bellinger. I'm making a big trade for the polar bear. I'm signing a couple late-inning power arms. If I can find one veteran starting pitcher to round out my rotation, great. And I'm leaning on some of the youth in my system. There's my plan. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.